This is Shaun Sport in podcast form.
So the French Open is taking place at the moment, and they reckon it's really interesting to go to Paris at the moment and out to Roland Garros because of the security involved ahead of the Olympics.
Yeah, okay.
So if you go to the Australian Open or any of the big tennis competitions, of course there's security there, but no one's standing there with M16s.
No.
And this is what the case is when you're at Roland Garros. You walk in.
M16s at a tennis match.
They're there. They've got
seems
security
a bit
with massive
overkill.
guns. They're all around the place.
Only because you feel like the people that watch the tennis are a nice, polite set of people.
Yeah.
Like I don't put riots and stuff.
Oh, what
I think
level?
terrorism is probably what they're worried about. Yeah.
But even that, you'd have to be
What
a
are they
real
capable
arsehole to
of?
do something terroristy to a tennis match, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
And I think also it's just kind of they're using it also as a warm up for the Olympics,
true
like
that.
testing out their systems and processes and stuff. Yeah.
So Rafael Nadal's played his last, well, it seems like his last ever tournament in the French Open, which he's won 14 times. He hasn't completely ruled it out, but it seems like he's hitting the skids. He will be playing in the Olympics representing Spain coming up. So he could be able to turn that whole system around, but he unfortunately drew Alexander Zverev, one of the top players in the world, because he's been out of competition for so long.
Yeah, he's no longer seeded,
and he gets to play a good guy that knocks him out in the first round. Never got himself to build any form along the journey, so that was unfortunate.
Bummer.
For the Aussies who have taken charge of their, who have competed in the opening 2 days, have all lost. There's 7 so far.
Oh, really?
Clay court, not our strength, clearly.
Clay.
Don't you have clay courts in Kalgoorlie?
No,
Be
they were
onto
just,
car,
they were
wasn't
just,
it?
They were just bitumen.
Yes.
To be honest.
It's like
We
gravel.
There was some grass courts growing up. There was a couple, but like people like me, normal people didn't have access to them. And the rest
That
was
was the
just,
country club.
Yeah, they were the country club. And then there was just some really hard, cracked bitumen.
Yeah, right.
Have you ever played clay?
Never played clay,
I don't
just
think
grass for
have you
Shaun.
ever played clay?
No.
Can normal people play clay?
There's got to be clay courts here. I think they're over at Mount Claremont because they got to get.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never spoken to a person that's played clay.
I haven't either. And I always, when you watch people play clay, you know they slide around. You slide into your shot. Your backhand slice down the line.
Yeah, it's too
And you
much
seem
too many stains.
It's a lot of stains.
It's
and
very
who
dirty.
cleans your clothes?
It's the same coloured dirt as Kalgoorlie. That's why I've never really
But
been
clay.
drawn to clay play.
Otherwise you
UWA
would.
Tennis Club in Mount Claremont has well-maintained clay courts.
In Claymont.
Good on you, Shaun. He's all over it.
Dalkeith Tennis Club, clay, hard and grass courts. So yeah, there's a couple of them around.
So it's the richies get clay.
Yes.
Okay. The NBA conference finals are happening at the moment. So basically this is the semi-finals of the NBA.
Yep.
And both series, so it's best of 7, both series are at 3-0. So the team who are in front,
On the
winning
brink.
3-0,
Yep.
on the brink of just going through and wiping the other teams
Clean
out
sweep.
in the clean sweep. But every single game's gone down to the wire. It's amazing to see NBA where every single game, if you got 10 seconds left, you can
Yes.
win. If
Yeah,
you got
wow.
5 seconds left, you
I know,
can win.
it's amazing, isn't it?
It only takes one guy, and you know the person who's going to get the ball, you know they're going to shoot a three-pointer, and
they do.
Normally, you just can't stop it.
Yeah.
It's incredible to see athletes at that level. Luka Doncic is a superstar from the Mavericks, Dallas Mavericks, that is, and he's on the verge of being able to sign a 5-year max contract. It's worth $350 million.
So he's Slovenian, right?
Yeah,
yes.
he's a
How
freak.
long's
Yeah,
that for?
he's amazing.
How long's that for?
I think it's a 5-year deal, Nath. I'm pretty sure it's 5
God,
years for
that's-
350-odd million.
That's even better than set for life.
I mean, he's not wrong.
I mean, do the maths, but I think you're right, buddy. I mean, 40 million tonight, set for life. We can still play any old day.
Even the guy that won 150 mil last Thursday, he's now going,
By the
that
way,
doesn't sound good.
I don't think he's older than 25.
Yeah, he's a young bloke, isn't he? And he will feature heavily for the Slovenian national team, the Olympics, I would
Just
imagine.
give him the ball,
yeah,
let him do
they're
his
so
thing.
good.
Does your dollar get a lot in Slovenia?
Nat, can you look that up
How
for us?
far does the
What-
dollar
what do you
stretch in
want?
Slovenia? Is it an expensive place to live? Because it sounds like it'd be a bargain.
It does sound cheap.
Just because of the Slav
I'm
part.
imagining maybe it's the euro, yeah?
Harry's got it up. He's got the Australian dollar versus the sit.
The
Yes.
sit.
146 sits it gets, so that's quite a lot.
What about lanes?
This A says
sit.
the euro is the monetary unit.
So what's that? What's it saying?
Well,
sits
this might have been their original
the
money, obviously.
Slovenian toller.
So some of those places still operate in their own currency, don't they?
Bit of
So
both,
Czech Republic, are they still operating in their?
No, they have their own.
How many
crown.
sits is it to buy a house?
I'm guessing Luca's got enough. Luca just owns all the houses in Slovenia.
Okay, Harry, give us an
downtown
update.
Like, how much to buy a can of Coke? How many sits is it, Harry? Does it say?
Hang on.
Yeah,
Go to
the sits went out.
Slovenian Coles.
People stopped sitting in 2007.
Yeah.
Okay, then.
Then they stood up and used the euro.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
so
the
then how
euro
much
now.
euro is it to buy a can of Coke? Go to Slovenia Deli.
That have a Costco.
Oh, hang on. I was searching that before.
Slovenia Corners. Oh, there we go. There we go.
Oh,
That's in
Oh,
Melbourne,
that's
though.
in Preston.
Delhi. In Slovenia.
In Slovenia. A Slovenian deli in
How far is
Slovenia.
Slovenia from Germany?
okay.
They'd have an LD there, wouldn't
There
they?
we go.
Just up the road from.
That's a cake shop.
Oh, that's nice. Look at that. That's lovely.
All right, can you get? Is there any prices?
Just in case you want to
hang
buy
on.
it. Well, you
How
need
much
the
is
online Woolworths in
Yes,
Slovenia.
I do. Yeah. All right, so
I wonder if they have a duopoly
Okay, here we
over
go.
there in the
Here we go.
supermarket race. What's
all
some
right,
prices?
All right. So
Here we go. Coke, Pepsi, $2, €2.50.
for
That's
for-
quite expensive.
Yeah.
it's quite,
Yeah.
so a cappuccino
that's-
regular is
that's-
€189. So what's that?
That's in a restaurant, sorry.
Yeah.
Let's have a
we
look.
don't know what the size is either.
We
I think that's important.
Very, or if it's in a glass bottle.
Thank
we
you.
do. It says it.
0.33 litre bottle. Oh, what?
Chicken fillets for a kilo is €9.46. So wait, what is that? What is that in Australia?
It's about $16.
It's Sean. You
It's
buy a
quite
lot
relative.
of chicken. Is that
Right,
relative?
heaps of chicken, yeah.
Yeah.
And the eggs is pretty similar too, because that's $3.20.
So what we're saying is
So-
money's going to go a fair
Actually,
way.
that's cheaper. Their eggs are cheaper.
Well, then he's going to have a lot of money in Slovenia, isn't he?
Yeah, he's
Oh,
going to be.
God, he's going to be
I think
covered
he's going to
in
be
sits.
okay.
He's going to be swimming in sits.
Which is a shame because they stopped using them in 2007.
Shaun Sport in podcast form.
If you're watching the AFL over the weekend, you would have seen that most of the commentary was around the holding the ball decision and when the AFL are going to act on telling the umpires that they need to make a quicker decision because of the likelihood of injury that
Yeah, I
could
see what you're
come
saying.
from.
Holding the ball.
Yeah.
Because then people dive onto you and pummel you to get it? Or
Well,
what?
what's happening is that the players were reluctant to, tackle someone and take them to the ground because they're
Okay.
worried about the head clash, right?
Oh, right.
So last week it was Thursday night's footy where a player used a drop hip tackle. So they just put all their weight to just drop them to the ground.
pull
So
them
you're not
down.
going to be able to hit them,
Yep.
hit their
Yes.
head. But in the meantime, ruined his knees, out for a couple of months. So then they were saying, okay, well, if the umpires blow the whistle quicker, then it stops anyone getting ditched to the ground and or you trying to
Unless you're in mid-ditch.
mid-ditch.
Yeah.
Mid-ditch.
So the tackler deserves some reward here, I reckon.
Yeah, and that's what we're not seeing in games
Yes.
at all. We've seen so often that the tackler's laying an absolute cracker and it's getting jarred free or the opposition player's unable to get a proper
Yeah.
disposal out, and it's just play on. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
I mean, you want the guys going for the ball, but you also want to reward the tackling because it's such a big part of the sport.
How much in your head do you have to get now before you do anything in AFL? Like the
Yeah.
thought process. It's like when they're
It's like the meme with all the equations.
Yeah,
Nathan.
yeah, but it's sort of like when you when you're replaying the game, right? Say the coach replays the game and then
Yep.
pauses it or slows
Yes.
it down. That's not how the game goes. The game doesn't pause or slow down.
It's really
It's faster
difficult,
than
Nathan.
ever,
And that's,
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I don't get how these decisions are going to be unless there's a new generation taught this at the day dot, so it becomes second nature. But then in 10 years' time, that'll change again.
Correct.
Well, it's becoming irrelevant week by week.
Yes.
That's the
Yes.
issue. You can go
Not
back to
even year on
training,
year. Yeah.
things. So, anyway, on AFL 360 last night, Brad Scott, the coach of Essendon, he just said, and he worked for the AFL last year,
Yeah.
the last couple of years. He said they should make it very simple by doing this.
If you haven't had prior opportunity and you get tackled, blow the whistle quicker and ball it up. Yep. But if you have had prior opportunity and you get tackled, it's holding the ball.
Free kick.
I think just simplify it that way.
That's easy.
But I thought that's what it's always
Supposed
been.
to be, but they're allowing the play to go on longer and longer
Yeah,
because
right.
what they've decided to do is they thought if we blow the whistle quicker and pull it in, then we've got another ball up, right? A lot of people around the stoppage.
Yes.
If we
Slows
let
it
it
down.
go and they keep
If the
swinging
ball
each other
spills
around.
out.
The ball
Yeah.
eventually spill out, and then it'll go, and then everyone will run off.
So it's less stopping the game.
Less stopping the game. So from their point of view, it's less stopping the game, but they've got to worry about now that injuries become such a big thing, the tide's turning.
It's a fine balance,
You've got to
isn't it?
make a decision on the go and get back to the old school stuff. They can certainly blow the whistle quicker and not cause everybody to come in and clog up the game.
I just think everyone's sidestepping the big issue, and that is just give everyone helmets and pads. I mean, really, that's what they're trying to prevent injuries from something that could possibly be prevented from extra protection, but they're refusing to have the extra protection, so they're whittling the game down to basically touch AFL to stop the injuries.
So in rugby, they don't have those helmets either, and I guess they face the same prospects.
They do. Anyone from outside
some of the guys are wearing those thin layered helmets. I don't think they do a great deal.
I think it's probably more about their confidence.
I know,
than anything.
but don't you reckon it's like they want you to be safe as if you are full of
And
you're
there's
covered.
an obvious solution.
You can't have both things, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
You can't have one without the other.
Yeah, it's either do one or the other.
And finally, the last bit of talk around the town again is that fact that Luke Jackson and Shaun Darcy don't work well together as the Fremantle Dockers
What do you
rucking
think?
duo. Well, they haven't been in a situation when they've played enough together.
Yeah.
Shaun's been injured
It's
a lot.
early days,
Last
that's
year,
right.
He did
You
his
can't judge it off
he had
one
the big
game.
operation.
Yeah.
And last week when he came back, he clearly looked like he hadn't played for a while. He was a bit out of sorts.
he hadn't.
And he hadn't. So I would be reticent to make a decision by the end of the season.
Yeah.
On that, I think it's easy to throw
It's too soon to
stones at
call.
the moment.
I feel like
The
they're
only-
the Megan and the Kate of the football world. They do get pitted against each other because they're both rucks. And
Yeah, they do.
I don't feel like... Does every team have two rucks?
Sometimes they play one ruck and then just like a mobile guy. A lot of them do.
But we have two official very good rucks.
Very good rucks.
So that's why... Is it a lot of just playing it...
Yeah,
playing against
so
each
apart
other?
from having two very good rucks, they are at the top of the salary cap, and
Of
no
course.
other team would have those two guys.
It's kind of what
or
happened-
two tall guys at the top of the salary cap.
It's kind of what happened at Melbourne with
right.
Max Gawn and Brodie Grundy, and that's why Brodie Grundy left basically because he was a great ruckman, but he wasn't
Well,
getting
that's why
games.
Megan left.
And that's why Megan left.
She wasn't getting a game.
She wasn't
So
getting a
they
game.
weren't playing her in
She
the ruck.
wasn't getting a game
She didn't want to
now.
play in the forward line.
No one's happy with her. Every time she visits a place, it's all like, "Woo, she's here," and then afterwards, everyone
only
just starts
showing the
sledging
bad
her.
stuff.
Oh, is that
Shaun.
Nigeria?
Yeah.
Yeah. The Nigerian people are going, what was she doing here? It's like, I just leave her alone. She's not getting a game.
It's not hurting you. It's fine.
She's not getting
She's
a game.
not getting a
not getting
game.
a
Sean
game.
Darcy's getting games over her. That's
He
where
deserves it.
it's ended, isn't
That's
it?
where
Yeah,
it's
no,
ended.
that's absolutely right.
Shaun Sport is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.